rotaciones de manera correcta. Como equipo. ¿Sale? A lo mejor de manera individual pueden hacer mucho, pero como equipo no tienen una rotación de equipo.
Another stun out. Great shot there from Hydra. The headshots are in. Standy able to pick up one, but Hydra still with the confidence, just sending it on forward. There's one trade. The headshots are through.
Vean Hydra, o sea, el instinto de Hydra para saber por dónde ir.
How comfortable he is on this map. Up to 11, still has the cruise. Bomb being planted at A. Skies is gonna get spotted. They know Hydra's kind of in a maybe a off position. Clay trying to watch the middle of the map. The timing does not go his way. Hydra thinks maybe that player's on the bomb. The nade didn't connect as well. Hydra trying to seal the deal heal.
He's got Daddy. Can he close it out on 6 in a row? Or will Standy be the hero once again for Legion?
He's got the cruise. He might just play around the cruise.
He's only got 12 in his Vaz right now.
He's going for it. What is the timing going to be like? He's going to go quick. He's
sí.
He's done. Doesn't get there in time.
Super kill de la Wings Legion. No, hombre, buenísimo, buenísimo.
He tried to play a little too safe. As soon as that nade connects, I'm thinking he's challenged.
Well, just with the confidence he's been playing.
Yeah, right,
too,
just
like,
go.
Yeah.
But maybe it's one of those comms, and you know, teammates, you have the cruise. You have the cruise. Right, you can play around it. But now you have no cruise in the clutch from Standy.
Well, he never reloaded his Vaz, so I kind of figured that was the play the whole time. Like, he was going to play around the cruise.
Sí, vamos haciendo nuestras notas.
Good Skies hit again. That does not miss by much. Oh, he gets zapped in too. Okay.
Watch for Clay right now. Maybe trying to find that pick in the middle of the map. He does have one player lurking on him. That's going to be Kiz. Hydra gets spotted. Sort of a cat and mouse game on the other side of the map, but Clay actually gets out of this game. But Skies, he's going to find the first blood.
He's had so many first bloods. I feel like 5 of his kills. Probably exaggerating, but he has had quite a few. Tagged up again, trying to reposition. 3 versus 4 for Legion.
I think TJ might have got spotted. You have a couple of the arrows watching this door. Or maybe they're just worried that's where the play is going to come from. TJ with Deddy, bomb planted on the other side of the map. It's going to be Kismet trying to work the flank. But TJ, he might be the hero for Legion to get us to around 11.
Ah, lo agarró por atrás. Bien, TJ.
But watch Kismet. Kismet's on the other side. There's the flank. 10 people to find one, so now a 1 versus 2. They know his position. He gets spotted. Deddy's still up for a second. Priesta though watching it. And Priesta is going to put NYSL up 2-0.
TJ's trying to bide his time, but once
TJ se entregó de frente, sí.
Such a tough spot in NYSL. They got the Ice Hydra. A demon in search and destroy. Now an 0-2 hold for Legion.
Así es.
They've got to rip off 3
Los destrozaron.
to keep the dream alive.
Están viendo verse ir el sueño de sus vidas. Vamos a ver, ¿quieren ver cómo van las recompensas? Vamos a verlo. Llevamos bien poquito, llevamos 25 minutos, entonces deberíamos de llevar más o menos como un 20 y tantos %.
Control has been just ass, but like maybe this is where you rip 3.
The problem is Hydra has just been, I mean,
Vamos
it's on point. 30
verlo.
map, 12
Voy a quitar el modo cine para ver este.
He's been a monster.
And again, Hotel
Y
has
le voy a
just
abrir
been
una
the home
pestaña.
for
Vamos a
NYSL,
regresar.
as we just saw right there. We're staying on that home for map 3.
Y 36%, mira, 73% de una hora. Sale. Estas ya las cobramos. Faltan estas. Y pues mañana. Mañana vamos a poder hacer estas, las del 30 de mayo. Vamos a ver los mejores momentos. Son 4 minutos de receso. Así que, ¿qué les parece si Nos tomamos un breve descanso, ¿les parece bien? Y bueno, ya regresamos. ¿Cómo están? Ya estamos de regreso. Un breakcito, quedan 30 segundos. Estamos viendo pues las mejores escenas, los mejores clips que nos dio estos primeros dos mapas. Y bueno, como nos estamos dando cuenta, Hydra está pero full kills, full kills. Priesta es quien tiene ahorita toda la carga de ser el Cinderella y bueno, Standy es quien tiene que llevar al equipo a Las Vegas. Entonces, pues a lo mejor se están guardando, ¿verdad? Para la Champions League Weekend en Las Vegas. Entonces, habrá que ver qué pasa.
Look like the pros, play like the pros with the new CDL team packs. We've got it all. Home and away, male and female versions, weapon camos, emblems, and calling cards for your favorite squads. And stay in the loop by signing up for the Call of Duty League newsletter. Keep up with breaking news, event discounts, and more. Scan the QR code on screen for more information.
Este se va a ver buenísimo, Crash Team Rumble se ve que va a estar bastante bueno. Vamos a ver. No pasaron, no lo pasaron. Bueno, no importa. Pero Toronto.
Now it's a mountain if you are Legion. There is so much work to do here in Toronto if you're going to make it, well, deeper in this tournament and have a chance to make it to champs. You got to rip off 3 straight maps and win another series later today.
Trajo sus tenis, mira, para que se los autografeen.
I mean, yeah, slow down Hydra. That's probably step 1. Win a couple of control rounds, win a control map, and then there's at least one map. But yeah, I mean, kind of one step at a time. That's going to be the discussion for them. I just feel like they got to get the guns going, though, right?
Map 4 was Hydra, right? And, like, you looked pretty good there yet. Well, both teams have looked good there, but you got a solid win there yesterday. But let's take a look at the Monster Energy pregame for NYSL. Joe, take me through it.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they have done all year long. They have controlled the respawns versus this Las Vegas team and then blow them out of the water on Hydro. Hardpoint, you talked about the Hydro. It looked good yesterday for Legion. Well, they won 250 to 90 the last time they played versus the Legion. So if we get there, it's gonna be a tough battle.
Sí, necesitan para remontar 3-1 en control y 6-1 en punto caliente. Yo la veo difícil. La verdad es que los subliners han estado dominando y creo que es muy evidente que también los dos primeros mapas son formas de juego que les favorecieron a su estilo de juego de ellos. Entonces sí siento que ahí tiene mucho que ver la estrategia general del juego y cómo es que lo vas a aplicar al final en toda esta etapa. Y bueno, aquí vamos al siguiente mapa, que es el nuevo mapa, el restaurante. El hotel no me acuerdo cómo se llama, pero bueno. Ah, ahí está. El hotel Brimberg. Y aquí vamos. Es eliminación, Ojo, 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 ojo. Aquí fue donde TJ...
TJ just playing his life. He knows Kismet is around here somewhere, and well, the timing does not go his way.
Recuerden que cada equipo tiene un número definido de vida, ¿sale? Y ronda de eliminación. Y es defender y capturar. Y el Tropi lo salva de esa granada. Y Standy, buena kill, aunque regaló la posición, fue muy buena kill. Y ahora va contra Hydra. Uf, TJ está tratando de... Ojo, este es un modo de juego que favorece bastante a Las Vegas, porque este es un modo de juego un poquito más ágil. Y como ya lo habíamos platicado, los subliners no son muy buenos para moverse.
Tip was looking over him. Skies, Hydra, they find openers. Now starting to flood on forward. Nice shot from playing Tip thus far. So one more to deal with. We'll see if Tip is up to the task. Tries to reposition. It's a chow and a half, but he's able to win that. That will secure the A zone. So you have about 1:40 now to go. Lives, you're down 3. Trying to get kills in the exits to just widen that gap. But so far you're okay if you're Legion.
Yeah, Priest, he actually blows up to the van, but Skies up to 9-3 with those couple of kills. Clay already working over towards patio, trying to get top bedroom. So you
quien está dominando la partida, Skies. Muy atentos a Skies, que lleva 9 kills.
That fight versus Skies with the Vaz. I was just in my head like, all right, well,
might as well.
Good luck, yeah. Down 5 now, so you really got to take your time. You got like 2 full team pushes of this, and Kismet continues to roar. 3 in a row for him now, out to 6-2.
Yeah, that was your one-player bedroom side. Inside, it was Clay, so you don't have that controlled anymore. Skies, he has the call out for Priesta. Him and Priesta working in tandem, able to take down 2.
They got it on lock. Priesta somehow stays up and just able to extend his life.
Oof.
Place there, TJ. There's 2. TJ is caught sprinting on out though.
Hola Jorge, bienvenido al stream, ¿cómo estás? Pues mira, el hecho de que estén cambiando tanto de armas es más que nada para velocidad. Si te fijas, cambian al cuchillo, pero haz de cuenta que el juego corta el sprint táctico cada que tú apuntas o cambias de arma. Entonces lo que hacen ellos para mantener como una especie de sprint táctico eterno y que puedan hacer esos saltotes y saltar y caer, así. Es así con eso. Uf, qué buena, Es un momento de los subliners.
And why is it the same damn moment that NYSL keep throwing away? Yeah. I could imagine being there, coach, because it's pissing me off.
Yeah. Woo. Finally, something for the crowd to get fired up about for this Legion side.
Plays so well. The team worked on point, and then it just all collapses.
You got, what was it, about 11-5 in lives at one point? Like, you got a wide margin there, and then just no trade for what, like 4 straight kills? It's about out of the point. Let's see if they can answer now on offense. They're still ripping and roaring. Yeah, they do. That's 4 dead. Just out and headbutt them. 4 life advantage instantly.
I think you're probably giving this one up. Yep. Maybe
ese movimiento de Priesta estuvo.
Maybe they can connect, but this is pretty much done. You might as well try to set up A. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to work with his NYSL.
That's
30 lives, a perfect start.
Yeah, that's one way to rebound. After that collapse, just come in and fry them. I think TJ was the one trying to hold towards that front A push. He gets dropped by Hydra. He was in a 1v2.
Well, big timing here for Skies. Maybe big timing here. They're going to all spawn up kitchens. Skies trying to work the pinch. Thought he had a freebie on, but Tim, we talked about him maybe starting it going at the end of that first round. Able to take down 2, and then Clay with a big couple of kills. Both of those players were trying to pinch. I thought maybe that was the shot for NYSL,
sí,
but they deal with it.
Y Skies llevan varias kills muy similares. Pero recuerden que aquí el objetivo es conquistar y defender, Lo que va a contar al final no son las kills, que obviamente hacen mucha diferencia.
A moment here to stop the clock for a little bit. I think he needed to. You just haven't been able to really at all throughout this. It doesn't last long as Standy and TJ. They locate more. Now you've got the edge.
That's on Standy. You have a chance to get out to the point. You had one player on it, but Standy found multiple kills inside a kitchen to get his teammates back to the point. But now those SMGs will be off of spawn. Clay now just trying to buy time. He knows the push is coming, and here we go. Standy, though, in for the reinforcements. Straight going down. It's into a 2 versus 2.
Priest stayed up on this point the entire time, though.
Sí, Priest está defendiendo muy bien,
Done. 47 on the clock now to work with. Clay just trying to dive across, hoping somebody's got the help, maybe on the trade. Not going to happen. That's 3 kills through now for subliners, and what looks so good for a moment for Legion. Second point of progress done. The stack is in. Nobody's close. Good night. They will take the round. It happens so quickly here in Control.
Muy bien defendido, muy bien defendido por parte de Priesta. Tiene que ver mucho el dominio del mapa también. Tiene mucho que ver el dominio del mapa, tiene que ver cómo despliegas a tu equipo. Hay muchísima estrategia detrás de esto.
Nice answer back though. And while the fact they're up 2-0, they win this, that control stat just continues. Absolutely nuts for New York.
A little bit different here for Legion. A very slow delayed A hit. Just kind of maybe trying to get someone to rotate on off, but all the kills go the way of Legion as they're able to take down 3. Standy already pushed up, just trying to deal with any reinforcements. Skies does find 1, but this should be A done.
Yeah, much better opening than we saw in their first offense.
Can you transition this now? We've seen this from time to time.
Maybe some bad deaths at bad times for NYSL. You've got fights on both sides. This nice win on one side by Priesta. Kismet just waiting. Daddy about to run out. Eyes on the Hydra. Mike just get rolls.
¿Vieron ese mal movimiento?
That's a nice job by the subliners. They knew that Standy was just kind of lurking. You saw Kismet off a spawn as he's able to take down Clay. Was just sort of waiting. Hydra, he was the one on the hunt. Last time NYSL did this. I mean, it was a great defense into the final moments. What can they do this time?
Still a ton of time to go. 21-21 in lives. 2 players coming off spawn now for Legion. It's TJ and Standy that are up close and hunting in the mix. The other players have now layered up the map. Keep an eye on the number 6 with eyes on the cross. That'll be Skies. But here comes the pressure. Clay, Standy, openers.
Standy empieza a presionar. Bien.
Kismet will drop. Stack should be in. Everybody getting onto the point. You've got 3 players stacked on it now. First bit of progress done. TJ with the shots in. Need to hold him back. Standy coming up clutch. And it's just almost there. Skies, though, with some huge kills. They're lining up in front of Clay. Just waiting for the help to get on in. They're looking to contest it, and they survive for now.
Was that an
Fire, Jesus!
There is some maybe sort of a higher power trying to help out TJ there with that hip fire. I don't know how that works, but he will take it as now he is gutting 3 in a row, up to 20 for TJ. Now on the point, there's 1 player behind enemy lines. That is going to be Hydra. He gets spotted. He gets gunned. Sky's the last player here.
Temp va destrozando, Qué buena de Temp, Qué buena jugada. 3 kills para acabarlo. Buenísimo.
Hell of a retake. That first one to like extend this by New York, but the next wave and TJ just, he's got some higher power.
Well,
some hip fire
before that though, right? You have 2 players bedroom side, and it props to Standy. He found the opening. He went couches to bar and just kind of waited. Was trying to find maybe that 1 player lurking, but Priesta was all by himself at the desk.
Y vemos al público, que apoya y apoya con todo. Y aquí vamos. Vamos a la siguiente. Y Las Vegas está reponiéndose, Temp se está dando unas muy buenas partidas. Pobre Standy, va para abajo. Si se fijan, las rotaciones son súper importantes para hacer la diferencia a la hora de atacar. Uff.
TJ, he is snapping right now, 1 HP again. This maybe opens up something for Standy to make your play with the players on the point. Ooh, maybe shoots a little bit too early. Able to regain, find that kill. So the rest of the players from NYSL maybe thinking about B. You have Priesta all the way through towards the spa side.
Es importante también estar todo el tiempo viendo el mapa. Es súper importante estar todo el tiempo monitoreando a tus compañeros en el mapa. Porque muchos tenemos esa reacción de aquí, conmigo. Y no sabes ni dónde es aquí. ¿Sí me explico? Y a veces marcar no es tan la opción.
Lovely pick on to Clay. Kismet just dolphin diving out the window. The stun's going to hit. The crossfire is there to get the drop onto Standy. Clay and Temp trying to go big for the squad.
That's actually huge. That allows them off a spawn. They know there's only 1 player on this, so they can retake it from the middle of the map. Those picks don't come in. You're thinking about maybe
pues Standy lo baja.
Just flying on through.
Y Priesta, adiós.
You're down 4 lives right now. TJ is shooting absolute missiles out of his gun right now.
Acuérdense que miren, por ejemplo, véanlo dónde está Standing. Y está escondido ahí, pero las cortinas no te cubren, Ojo, las cortinas no son antibalas.
Well, Kismet with the second one. Here we go. Now it's NYSL's turn to try and make the play. It's been the ARs in the clutch moment, and it's the ARs again. Clay takes down 2. Here comes the collapse. TJ, the last player in position. He's going to deal with it.
Aún así, Kismet se hizo sus buenas kills, Pero aún así, mi favorito sigue siendo Hydra.
The clearance on the point comes through. Standy's able to take that back down to the first tick. Daddy now pop for Hydra.
¿Cuál es mi team favorito? ¡Híjoles! Está un poquito difícil, pero Atlanta viene bien duro. Son rudos ellos, son rudos.
These last couple of pushes. And that's through the ARs. As Stanley's able to find another one. TJ, with that Deddy, just trying to play his life, trying to play sneaky. Has the help attempt. 40 seconds, 9 lives. New York, they gotta go soon.
And remember, it's what, 2 and 15 if you lose the control if you are in YSL. And they're at risk here. 30 to go. 9 versus 9.
9 versus 9. Híjoles.
Is that the opener that they need to get this to around 5?
Quedan 8 vidas. 8 vidas a cada uno. Uf. 9 contra 7. 9 contra 6. Sí, los subliners. Se acabó el tiempo. Y vuelven a empatar el asunto. Y ahí está la kill final. Esta es una excelente kill. Vamos a ver. Tenemos algo nuevo. Vamos a actualizar. Y ya podemos reclamar los dos de 1 hora. El doble de experiencia y el doble de puntos. Y aquí viene la siguiente. Vamos a verla, vamos a verla.
A strong defense here in round number 5. Maybe some early momentum, but it's been all offense. Yeah, it looks like they're working that flank over towards B. New York maybe with the opening.
No, Priesta viene salvaje, ¿eh?
Daddy out for Hydra. Stack it onto the point. Easy picks for Kiz. Nade's able to hit as well. That'll drop TJ. He'll belly onto the point as well. They've got 2 here for the stack. Second bit of progress now done. Another pick for Kiz, making it look easy. 4 in a row off the start of this round. You're up 4 lives. You got the first bit done.
This is a fast transition as well. Very quick. TJ needs to play his life alongside Standy. Control kitchen as much as they can. Well, Kids with the read. They know TJ's here. They're going to know Standy's here, though. That's going to be the question. Able to find the first. Standy is there for that trade on the other side.
Sí, Standy estaba atrás de él.
And Skyju just gets on the point trying to deal with the players off with spawn. That's going to force Standy to have to push out. They're just going to try.
Sí, la forma es que Standy pushea. Por algo es el líder del equipo.
First bit of progress done. TJ with 1 kill, but you gotta go. How far are you gonna be able to push this if you are in YSL? Hydra continuing to find kills. Hydra mowing them down. This one might be done. Can they get there in time? This is your last chance. The contest is in. Standy and Tip trying to go big.
Oh, Dios mío, Priesta.
Do it, Legion. The dream is dead. In YSL, move on with the 3-0.
Y adiós a Las Vegas. Adiós a Las Vegas. Fuera, eliminados por Priesta. Eliminados completamente por Priesta. Tremendo clip. Priesta los bajó, pobres. Porque muchos de ellos han dedicado más de 1 año, año y medio de entrenamiento para estar en este evento. Miren, pobre Standy. Pobre Standy, la verdad es que sí duele. Sí duele porque desde que llegaron los vinieron apaleando, igual a Las Vegas, porque esta es como una ronda de perdedores, pero habrá más, tiene razón, o sea, el narrador dice que habrá más oportunidades, que podremos ver algo mejor, pero pues sí. Oigan, qué bonitos son los controles Scoof. ¿Los han visto? Están bien caros, pero están preciosos. Sí, miren. Chequen cuántas, o sea, si te fijas, Clayster murió 29 veces y solo mató 19. Ese es un problema. Chequen los demás, o sea, los demás tienen números muy parecidos, muy estándar todos, casi es kill por vida. Y pero esa diferencia es la que al final de cuentas terminó costándoles la partida y terminó costándoles la eliminación. Entonces pues así es, Priesta jugó muy bien. Priesta estuvo concentrado en el juego. El día de ayer, la verdad es que Priesta no estuvo jugando tan bien. No estuvo jugando de lleno. Vuelvo a lo mismo. TJ el día de ayer manqueó horrible. Perdió la ronda definitiva. Iban empates. Y yo creo que esto tanto a Standy como a TJ los puso en una situación de desequilibrio, ya que TJ es pues parte de las estrellas, por decirlo de alguna manera, del equipo de Las Vegas. Y Standy, pues como lo vieron, es el pushador, o sea, es el que va empujando el equipo, el que lo va dirigiendo, el que lo va impulsando. Y bueno, pues en algo tienen mucha razón en que va a haber más oportunidades, hay más cosas que hacer y yo creo que fue un momento difícil para Standy. Pero bueno, Priesta, que es el Cinderella ahorita, es el mejor. Y vamos a ver sus palabras de Priesta.
The New York Subliners hot off of a 3-0 dub here versus the Vegas Legion. A lot of eyes on this match, obviously for you guys as well as the opponents on the stage. How does it feel to come away with another dub?
It definitely feels good right now. I think we're hitting form. Our match against Toronto, we kind of threw away, and we know that. So we've just been putting a lot of work in practice, and we're starting to flow right now.
And I want to ask you, too, like, whenever you do come away with a loss, right, I feel like you guys have said it. We've been talking about it on the desk. It's a series that it felt like you guys should have taken. How do you go back to the scrim room? How do you go back to the drawing board, if you will, and try to improve on something that you feel like you should have won in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it. So many of the matches we've lost this year is kind of just like throws from us. Some have been unlucky, some have been in our control for sure, but I think the main thing is just staying confident and just flowing and getting the power positions. Like, don't be scared to get those power positions and take your timings.
It's interesting because whenever we had the chance to sit down with your coach, Cinder, ahead of the major, one thing you just said there was we feel confident. Confidence was the number one thing that he was talking about. What is it about this roster? What is it about this team that just constantly is infused with confidence all the time?
I mean, ever since the beginning of the year, Troy has like preached confidence, and like even Major 1 when we won, he was like confidence, confidence, confidence. Like everything you do, be confident in that play. So we've been preaching that ever since then, and right now we're just being confident and just doing our best.
Absolutely, man. Well, something that's interesting is that you guys are not done for today. You guys do have another game. It's actually going to be based off of the result of this match, Minnesota v. Florida. Any thoughts on who you may be facing off against later?
Le pregunta cómo se siente sobre todo el trayecto que ha hecho desde Minnesota, Florida y poder llegar hasta aquí, hasta Toronto.
After a match we played against them and they're looking solid. So I think it's definitely going to be a tough match for Minnesota, but who knows?
We'll see, man. It's been a spicy tournament so far. You never know how the results are going to go. But if there's one thing that's going to keep this elimination bracket alive for you, you're obviously 2-0 in series.
Sí, es cierto. Este es el bracket de eliminación.
What's that going to be?
Ha sido
if there's going to be one thing that allows
complicado,
this elimination bracket run
lo
to
va
stay
haciendo
alive,
bien.
what's it going to be for you guys?
Just being confident. I think that's the main thing. Just don't let off the gas. Just come out, do our thing, especially in map ones. When we win our map ones, we're a scary team. So that's our main focus right now.
Got to keep in mind, map ones, confidence is key. Anything you want to say to the fans out here, to the New York supporters at home?
Yeah, man. I know there's a few New York supporters out there. I appreciate it. I know you guys wanted Vegas to win, but appreciate all you guys for coming out, and I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it here from us on the main stage. Priest of the Boys of New York get the dub. Let's go and toss it over to the desk now.
Congratulations to the Subliners who power into another top 6 finish in the running for the title here in Toronto still. But that is the end of Vegas Legion's run here at the 2023 Call of Duty League. And we got to talk a little bit about what happened in this series. I think our casters touched on it. A slow start from this
sí,
Vegas
él comenta que este es como una especie de touchdown para Priesta, como el touchdown ganador. Y bueno, aquí podemos ver cómo van, ¿sale? Atlanta va en primer lugar. Va arrasando. Y uno de mis equipos favoritos, que es Los Ángeles Guerrilla, va hasta abajo. Entonces, Las Vegas quedó eliminado. Florida parece que también. Los Ángeles también. Y el London Royal Ravens también. Así que más tarde podremos averiguar cómo se desarrolla este día sábado. Y pues todo va a estar esperando el domingo. Vamos a ver las highlights.
To another hard point alley, but instead the subliners clutch up in the end once again, hitting them with a B first.
And this is where all the opportunity was, right? New York has kind of been struggling in control lately, and for Vegas, this was when they started to turn up in this series. It was all offenses every single round, and unfortunately, Vegas Legion got the defense in the round number 5. So for New York subliners, I think they just caught Vegas Legion way too early in that map number 1. Again, I talked about it yesterday that once Kismet and Hydra are setting the pace, it is so difficult to pull things back your way. And for Vegas Legion, unfortunately, the SMGs just weren't hot and ready there during map number 1 and couldn't hang.
Yeah, it was unfortunate when you look at this series. I mean, you got outslayed by 50 across 3 maps. Like, you're not going to win if that happens. And you think about that search and destroy, there's a couple of rounds, like the round where Temp's on the island, if he stays alive, you potentially win that. Another round, Clay gets sniped by Skies because Standy's not clearing out what he's supposed to clear. So the guys, I mean, I think the pressure got to them, Chris. I really do.
Yeah, and Sonny, I got to ask you, they put this pressure on themselves after losing Major 4.
La carita de dolor yo creo que es lo que
Major
más
5 and just fell short of their goal. But do you see all 4 of these Vegas players returning for the 2024 season? Do these guys get picked up next year?
I think they definitely have the opportunity to get picked up. We're talking about a 3-time world champion in Clayster, Donnie Temp, who is leading one of the leading KDs for the last 2 years in the CDL. TJ and Standy, we know what those young men are capable of. TJ in the search and destroy, Standy overall. All these guys have the talent to be in the CDL. It just, they formed this team so late at the very end of the year. They didn't have enough time to try to make that run all the way to the end.
Way better than last year, but Vegas is now out with the 9th seed. They fall short of champs, but New York powers through. They're in our top 6, and they earned your scuff play of the game. This one belonging to the big boy toy. It's the sniper coming out of Skies. Allie, walk me through these shots.
I mean, pixel perfect, right? When it comes to these shots like this, I'm happy to see Skies pull out the sniper a little bit more. I feel like we hadn't seen New York utilizing it, and to pull it out on Hotel of all places, I mean, some of the shots he was hit,
but Allie,
the 180 is insane.
Standy is selling.
Yeah, what is that?
What is he doing?
No, I mean, you think a sniper's out plat, you have a Vaznev, you're thinking you can chow that. He's not gonna snap like that, to be fair.
Skies hit him between the eyes, and we get a chance to see him pull out that sniper again in their next matchup. They're waiting on the loser of Florida versus Minnesota. That matchup is coming up in just a little bit. Before we get to it, though, a reminder, start your collection today. If you haven't already, join us with our friends at Upper Deck. We have the 2021 Call of Duty League trading cards out now. More cards are coming. I saw the players signing them in the lobby, so get ready and start your collection today. All you got to do, scan that QR code. And of course, we've got our Call of Duty gear. Get your shop.callofdutyleague.com jerseys, hoodies, and more. Nameless, who's got the
y vamos a
most
tomar
fire
el descanso que tienen ellos. Igual, ahorita regresamos. De todas maneras, los dejo con la transmisión en vivo.
Jerseys, but hey, it's Florida and Rocker on the far right. Those are the jerseys we're looking at. Who will come out on top?
All right, we got to go to break. When we come back, it is the upper bracket matches. Who powers into your top 3? Who falls down to the elimination? We find out after this.
¿Listos? 3, 2, 1. Y bueno, pues ya regresamos, amigos. Como vimos, quedaron Las Vegas eliminado. Y ahorita sigue el siguiente bracket de eliminación. Vamos a ver el equipo que nos van a presentar ahorita.
Give me the smoke, I want it all. What they saying, take a toke. I love the hate, I don't need no antidote. Better keep it light when you talking to the globe. It's no joke. Give me the smoke, I want it all. What they saying, take a toke. I love the hate, I don't need no antidote. Better keep it light when you talking to the globe. It's no joke. Give me the smoke, I want it all. What they saying, take a toke. I love the hate, give me the smoke. Better keep it light when you talking to the globe. It's no joke. Give me the smoke.
You just heard it from their theme song.
Y bueno, ¿qué les parece si pasamos a la siguiente etapa? Que es Minnesota Rock contra Florida. Y vamos a recibir a los equipos. Espero que sea un muy buen bracket de eliminación. La verdad, Florida viene fuerte. Minnesota también viene bastante fuerte. Ambos vienen con ganas de lograr todo, de ganar todo, de conquistar todo. Y pues lo que pasó con Priesta, con Kismet, está siendo muy polémico. Entonces, Minnesota, veremos qué es lo que puede hacer. Y pues bueno, Florida viene muy bajo, un poco desconocido. Y veamos cómo viene Minnesota.
The fact that Florida Mutineers have nothing to lose, right? This is their last chance. Where for Minnesota Rocker, they've now secured champs. They're now trying to fight maybe for seeding if possible, but also just a decent placing, right? To get that confidence heading into it.
Yeah, fix your computer, guys. I fixed it on my end. Nameless, we got to talk about this Minnesota squad, though, because they've had their ups and downs. Yep. When they've been down, what's going wrong for the team? What do they need to avoid today?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a long time with Minnesota. They've been bad at searching.
Bueno, pues miren. Minnesota no tiene nada igual con que el equipo de Florida. Minnesota necesita ganar 2-0, 6-1 y pues necesita llevarse el MVP para poder ganar. Necesita ganar un 6-0 en el hardpoint y ha sido muy difícil para ellos esta clasificación de juegos, así que esperamos que sea una parte muy buena para ellos hoy.
That's nasty.
If you watch that duo, they were ferocious getting those first picks, flying around every corner. But Bance, that's a man who's going to hide behind a corner and let you come around it. So I'm excited to see that matchup in Search and Destroy. Let's focus in, though, on our Mutineer squad. You're coming in with the 10th seed. You have no expectations from the fans, and now you are in a position.
Y bueno, los fans de Florida traen unas expectativas muy altas. No pueden dejar que quede todo esto así. No se ha podido enfrentar bien contra Minnesota, pero la verdad es que hasta ahorita Florida, los Mutineers pueden ser, yo creo que quienes más que nada tengan que defender puntos, tengan que defender posesión, porque realmente es todo más a su favor. Y la verdad es que han dado un muy buen juego, han estado jugando muy bien, han estado rotando duro, han estado rusheando duro y sobre todo han estado matando duro.
Their last win. Today is going to be a tough one for them, though, and we got to take a look at the maps and modes for this series. Florida has been hot.
Y bueno, estos son los mapas que vamos a ver. Vamos a ver el fuerte con punto caliente, el mercado con busca y destruye, en la expo con control, en la embajada con punto caliente y en el asilo con busca y destruye. ¿Sale? Aquí quienes llevan más es que dominan más estos mapas con estas configuraciones Florida.
send it down to the stage with Miles the Ross.
Hi, Toronto.
Y vamos a pasar a las presentaciones de los equipos.
The Vegas series kind of hurt, didn't it? Was that tough? It was a little tough. Let's do an arena-wide regain. I'm going to ask you guys over here first. Can I get a little skirt? That was great. That was really good. You guys over here, can I get a little skirt? That was also delightful. You guys in the middle. Holy. Now everybody at once. 3, 2, 1. Right. I think we're ready to roll. Let's bring
Creo que no es el equipo, creo que no es el público más animado de todos.
The Kings of the North today. We'll find out how they play. Ladies and gentlemen, the Minnesota Rocker.
Y damas y caballeros, con ustedes Minnesota Rogue. Vance, Kevin, Fate y Attach.
Man, how good can this team be when the pressure is off? They have secured champs, they found their
Baines,
roster, and they
Kemi,
won 6 straight
Fame
hard
y
points.
Attach.
Are they a dominant respawn team? Well, we're about to find out. Let's see if Attach and the boys can take over and get this dub. Let's bring out the other squad, Miles.
That other squad, whew, sheesh, they have been turning heads and they have created quite a scene here in the league. Since what? The start of this major. Ladies and gentlemen, bring to the stage now their opponents. They're very dangerous indeed. Florida Mutiny!
Y bueno, con ustedes los Florida Mutants. Fallout, Black, Rico, Capsule.
Puckett's favorite team has taken the stage, and Vikul is feeling the vibes of the crowd.
Fellow, Brack,
I don't think
Vikul y
anybody
Capsidal.
expected to make it this far, and they still have another chance after this series. The Florida Mutineers looking to make the final run and final mark on the season, and it starts with going through the Minnesota Rocker. Let's get the second match started.
Let's get it going. It's going to be a very, very exciting series. We cannot wait to find out what happens. To guide us through the action, we have Lando and Study.
Thank you so much, Miles. Yes, indeed, Toronto. We've got ourselves a very, very spicy game going down in the winner's bracket. Jay, just as we all predicted, Minnesota versus Florida. If you predicted that, you're a genius.
Así es.
Yeah, definitely give
Este
yourself
es
a lot of
el brackets de ganadores. Y vamos a ver cómo se desenvuelve esto, porque parece ser que va a estar bastante potente. Parece que vamos a tener bastante juego. Parece que vamos a estar presionando con bastante fuerza. Y vamos a ver quién pushea mejor. Todo esto se va a decidir simplemente en cómo pushean. Los Rock tienen buenos jugadores que rotan bastante bien, que se entienden bastante bien, que se hablan bastante bien durante el mapa, que yo creo que esa es la parte más importante, el hecho de hacer como este clic al momento de hacer equipo, entenderse entre ellos.
Minnesota also 3-0 in the last 3 times they played it, but it's about a 50-point difference or a little bit lower than that. It's a little bit closer of a game for Rocker, a blowout for Florida. So this map number 1 is everything to see who's going to be able to set the tone.
Well, it feels like, you know, based off what you said, it's going to be essentially a square up. Yeah. Point, great for Minnesota lately, especially on Fortress. Florida, as we talked about in the, you know, in the monster.
Algo que yo creo que es muy importante ahorita que comentar es que la mayoría de los equipos mantiene como un estándar de edad. No sé si me explico. La mayoría de ellos mantiene como una edad similar, habilidades muy similares. No buscan como esta parte de empatar, sino más bien quieren que todos puedan dominar todos los equipos del grupo. Y Florida no. Florida realmente es un equipo dependiente uno de otros. Pueden ver que la diferencia de edades es abismal. Y bueno, yo creo que es momento de pasar a las partidas.
Very handily, first little team fights. Minnesota coming away with all of the fights. That's 15 points uncontested already.
Yeah, Minnesota started off on the bad side. They find all the kills and they were able to already flip these spawns. So now if you are Florida,
y quedamos un 2 versus 2.
Try to get the better side, going over towards the P2. And Minnesota Rocker already putting them in the trap. Attached early on, the world champion on a 5 streak early. He can earn himself that cruise.
See if he can manage to get it already off the rip. Vance player to absolutely look out for. Does eventually get gunned, but it's just one of the many lines of defense that Minnesota have in preparation for P2. Problem being, Florida, they've managed to make their way through the top side of the map. Already with a few players hanging out in some corners, hanging out in crevices.
Qué bonito su proyecto de arma de Florida,
Elect to find that one angle, and from there, now they are in possession of the HP.
And that's the reason why Florida have been able to find a lot of success on Fortress. It's been all about the breaks. #1 breaking team on Fortress HP, and they show it early as they start off with the initial P2 time. But Minnesota, even though they spawned out, they apply the pressure through the front. Cammy and Vance combined for 2. They get the break right on back. But with 35 seconds, you don't want this side of the map. You have to be thinking a step ahead because that P3 is a game changer.
It absolutely is. That's something that Florida were able to master last time versus Optic Texas. But for the moment, Minnesota locking things down. 20 seconds to the fight for it. Rocker are in possession. Brack, without question, the player to watch. He eventually gets evaporated, but it's a trade that works out in the end for Florida, at least contesting, maybe finding the final 10 seconds while setting up for new. Jay, this is one of the best hard points on this map coming up.
Yeah, this is the perfect setup for the P2 to P3 chain. Florida Mutineers only put pressure on through the front. They get at least 10 to 15 seconds over there, but now fully set up off the rotation. In the money hill at P3. Minnesota Rock are going to try to apply the pressure through the double doors. Fellow and Capsule already combined for 2, and now the SMGs are going to try to roam.
Capsule ends up getting taken down, so first wave cleared. Here comes another one from Minnesota, looking to make their way through gate. Brack try to hold him down, try to lock this setup forward. It's Vehicle, it's Fellow.
Qué buena,
down. Great work, great clearance. It's Capsule missing a few shots, decides to go for the heat check. Doesn't work out for him, and now Minnesota, I was going to say they have a chance, but right now for Florida, you have a Brack. Mr. Newberry lighting him up again as he stays solid. He stays true, and Florida get every single bit here at Fountain.
And they're finding all the kills as well. Even though Brack is soaking up this P3 time, look at the spawns coming in for Rocker. The majority of these players over towards the double doors. Capsule and Fellow do take down 2. But those 2 players are now going to come off spawn towards stage. So Rocker are going to be gifted the rotation over towards P4. Florida have to fight out of this spawn. And it's going to be Vico applying that pressure up through the street. Him and Fellow, the army of 2, going to try to flip these spawns.
See if they can be successful in that venture. Vehicle already off to a great start. No time to the hard point. Well, that's about to change. Gets a freebie. Now at 10 and 6. Eventually falls. It's a teammate, unfortunately, for Minnesota. So not in as stable of a position as they would have liked. Florida trying to lock things down, looking to stabilize, and right now they're making Minnesota
Florida mantiene ahorita todas las posiciones, está dominando. Y todo es gracias a esta parte del trabajo en equipo con las rotaciones. Ahí es importante que vean cómo es que cuando salió del punto se puso en blanco y se esperó. Cuando entró, él tenía un 75% de la vista y sabía de que estaba escondido donde no alcanzaba él a ver cuando conquistó el punto. Y Minnesota está empezando a emparejar el punto,
Trophy will drop Brack, and with that, Minnesota with the time, potentially with the spawn trap not going to happen. 2 spawn out on the left. Positive there if you're Florida.
And that's a blessing right there if you are the Mutineers. That trap is starting to get out of hand, but Fellow and his teammates spawn out. They're able to pinch and find the break instantly. So now with only 20 seconds left, if you are the Mutineers, trap them as long as you can because you know where those spawns are coming in. You got to get someone to back up, though, towards the double steps because you do not want to allow one flip spawn to go out. And with Bance hitting this route, they already might have just done it. Florida on the bad side.
Yeah, you're starting to see a few players already on the right side. That is not the spawn that you want to have moving into this hard point, as well as P2 coming up next. Heads up play coming in from Minnesota, specifically the veteran in Bance. Jay, we talked about his chemistry, his ability to lead a team. Right now, he is leading an overall KD with this new lineup. Man can truly do it all, and right now, he's put his team in the best position possible.
Vea qué rotación de Attach. Uf, vieron qué buena rotación.
Trades go back and forth towards the P1 hardpoint, and with 35 seconds left, you see Florida. They're more focused on flipping the spawns. Bracken towards the top window does take down Attach, but Cammy cuts down 2, and Florida, they still are trapped. You at least get one player to spawn over towards open, so Capsule will be able to win that gunfight, but the final 25 is going to go to Rocker. Now, this positioning out of Attach is so crucial if he can hold this down.
Trying to continue to hold spawns. I mean, you have 3 members of Florida hanging out inside of cannons, and with that, as you said, it's going to put that much more pressure here on to Dylan Price. What can he manage to come
ya le
away
dio
with?
Minnesota la vuelta,
Hunting and searching for information. Florida absolutely in the comms are wondering, where is he hiding? Where could he be located? And right now, his position's felt, and he actually gets someone to spawn on him right at that moment. So now he has got Cammy alongside of him. Excellent work there. And with that kill onto Vico, it then now sets everything up for Minnesota. That was picture perfect.
Yeah, Attach just played that beautifully.
Sí, Minnesota está empezando a tomar un rotaje perfecto.
Right next to him, so Cammy's going to be able to hold down the back end. You're soaking up all this time over towards top stage. Capsule is on a 5 spree, but good job to take him down. Great shots out of Cammy, and this is where the game can turn on its head. Minnesota, they're getting all this jump time over towards P2, and they already have Attach off the rotation to next.
This is wonderful work. I mean, just a screenshot would be perfect right now on what Minnesota is doing on the mini-map, trying to pretty much recline, get out of this hard point progressively, start to fade back, and prepare. Florida, you want a break? That's fine. Enjoy the final 15 while we prepare again for a money hill. Last time around, Jay, this is where Florida really got a majority of the points that they have on the board. Now they're going to have to rely on a break. Last time it was a hold. Can they do the inverse? It's all going to rely on these SMG plays.
Yeah, this break is everything right here for Florida if they can get it. Minnesota hold this for a full 60. They're basically calling game. Trades go back and forth, and Vico's able to slip through that double doors. And now the spawns all the way across the map. It's only Bance and Cammy. They do get 2. They're holding down the aggression. They're doing a great job at it. That's a clean 4 dead. Minnesota take back control, and they might have just called game with that play.
Oh, they're starting to smell blood. Attach just narrowly stays alive, and with that, he does eventually fall. But Minnesota, they're starting to feel it, inching ever closer to the 200-point mark. And for the Mutineers, with 20 seconds remaining, you can't really do anything with this, Jay. You kind of have to allow for them to walk away with the scrap and just pray that you can hold down cannons for a full 60.
Yeah, you got to just cut your losses, because now Minnesota, this remaining 10 seconds, are going to find themselves up by 100. They can play a little bit scattered, make a couple hero plays. For Florida Mutineers, it has to be a response right here towards the cannons. A full 60 hold, trap them in towards the back of statue for as long as you passively can. Fellow does take down 2, but Minnesota, once they take care of him, they find an opening. They're going to apply that pressure through stage.
Big moment right now for Florida, trying to lock things down. Capsule comes away with 2. As we said, one more break for Rocker, and this game could come to a close. Let's step aside and see how the comms are sounding with the Minnesota boys.
Y Minnesota está a punto de doblar el marcador, ¿eh?
Try get him off time. Nice, one speed, 2 steps, man. Nice, Lord, man. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, last window. Okay, yeah. I'm getting in. No, P2's dead. It's cap, top trees. Just keep him off this, boys. That's good shit. Back. Yo, I spawned here.
Yeah, secure this road.
Yo, get my pitch. Get my P3 pitch. No. Okay, I'll try and watch it. Yeah, behind me. Dead. I'm on shot. Where? He's in there. He's behind the horse. Behind the horse.
One window.
One shot time. He's got a streak. One shot behind the horse. Where? Pressing the horse down. 2. Top maps, boys. Top maps, big fellow. Yo, top maps, fellow, okay? He's behind you, P2, bro. He's behind you single.
We got left.
Where's he gone? He's got a streak.
He's back P2.
One, that's 1. That's 1, okay? Yeah. I don't see Cap, bro.
Yeah, he was back.
He's down back up system then.
I've gone open. I stunned you.
That's 1. No, he's forged. Fellow's forged, bro. Yo, Fellow's forged.
Well, that was a nice check with Minnesota. Problem being is that Florida have just got right back in this game. Jay, they didn't really get a whole lot of time over at P4 where you'd expect them to, but they do it at the horse statue. They just locked that down for full 60.
Yeah, and that's because Caps went on an 11 streak. He earns himself that cruise missile. But looked to be a blowout game. Florida have fought their way back into this one. So now it's all about the rotation over towards P1. Florida with the preferred spawns. You do have a cruise missile just in case it starts to get out of hand. But you got to get Rocker off at this point. You have brought this game back with a great performance so far from Capsule. Can he keep it up?
Oh, and Fellow ends up getting one for free. Vico with the nade over the top.
That is excellent work there for Florida. A break that they had to have, and now they've got it. A few members from Minnesota off spawn, trying to make their way into cannons, cause some problems, cause a bit of havoc toward the back lines. Brack trying to do so.
Hold on.
Close. A big one for him. And with that, now Florida looked good for the last few seconds at P1, and now they're preparing for the next rotation. Everything going well if you're a Florida fan.
And this is such a big gunfight, though. Capsule knows he has to play his life. Fame's the only player here from Minnesota Rocker over towards stage. You get the info of attached throwing that trophy down, so one player has at least to be open. But it's almost a tie game. Florida Mutineers have more bodies on the correct side of the map. They just have to be able to execute a break, but they have been so good on Fortress as of recent. The best breaking team, they need one now.
Oh, it all comes down to this hard point. It all comes down to this break. Both teams absolutely have the chance to win it here. We start things off with Capsule falling. Vico, they're able to answer its fellow. Last man alive at the point. He drops Minnesota 10 points away from Colin Game. Bance and Cammy starting to line them up. Is this about to be another Minnesota hardpoint dub? You bet!
Bien, Minnesota. Bien. Bien, muy bien jugado. Muy, muy bien jugado. Qué forma de defender,
Jay, this has been the formula for Minnesota, the Fortress formula. Flawless and hardpoint, and in every single series that they have played, it's come through a Fortress hardpoint dub. Minnesota just gets it again, and with that, they go up 1-0, despite what was a very electric performance from DJ Cap.
And now that's 7-0 in hardpoint. I know Capsule was going brazy in that map number 1, but Minnesota Rocker, every time
No puede
they needed to have a
ser. Tenemos
response.
otra
They were the
caída.
team early set up off the rotation. Going into that map, all the stats said Minnesota Rocker are the worst team on rotation.
Yeah.
They do not win the spawns. But ever since they make this lineup, the fundamentals have been in play. You set yourself up, you cut your losses, and you set up properly to get yourself some much needed time. It's just when you came down to the second rotation of hardpoint, that P2 to P3 chain was beautiful. You allowed yourself to get a nice little 100-point lead, even though Florida was slowly starting to climb back. When you have a lead like that, it just takes 1 to 2 plays for you to be able to close out the game. Minnesota Rocker were in control from start to finish, and now they're off 1-0 in the series.
Well, this feels a little bit like our series yesterday, right? When it came down to Fortress hardpoint, I think it was, like Thieves versus Ravens. Thieves were up huge the entirety of the game. London makes a heroic comeback. The problem being is that we're basically in the exact same situation. It is so hard for a team who is down in the early stages of a game to do everything right, especially on a map like this where it's so close quarters.
Because you got to think about a hill like P2. You're fighting for that junk time, but you also in the back of your mind know we got to play for P3.
Yep.
So when you're down by 100 points, you're fighting for junk time and you're also rotating. So it's probably a 2-2 split. It's never a full team push in either one of those situations. It's just all about playing catch up. And unfortunately, for Florida Mutineers, they did not have enough time to bring this one all the way back. And if you are Minnesota Rocker, a team who was on the brink of not making the champs, they put Fame to the submachine gun. They bring back the world champion in attach. And now they're looking flawless in every mode, man. They're looking good.
It was so funny, man. I was able to chat with Bance after their W yesterday, or rather the other day, and I was like, what do you credit like this hardpoint streak to? And what does he say? Vibes. Yeah, it's just vibes. We just got great comms. Like, we just kind of feel good. He wasn't like, oh yeah, you know, we got some solid slayers, all this stuff. No, it was just like, hey, the chemistry's great.
Se fijan el cómo tienen ellos solo 2 milésimas de diferencia, pero al final, cuando ya ves tú las kills, sí hacen mucha diferencia. Estas pequeñas milésimas de conquista. Disculpen, me pasé muy mala noche.
Last time that they were on the main stage, they took down Optic Texas, a dominant W on Mercado Search and Destroy. What did they do there that you want to see them replicate in this match?
It's just the teamwork, man.
Vamos a ver qué pasa.
Ended up getting first blooded in that situation. Every other player was there to trade efficient. It's like you go 1 for 2. You would take that every single time in those trade battles. So if you are the Florida Mutineers, just bring that teamwork back. And then on the opposite side for Minnesota, they like to play these S&Ds really, really slow. They like to see how teams like to develop their plays. I know that Fame is a guy who's, ever since he's entered this lineup, he's been a guy who just takes over for Search and Destroy. We saw it on full display versus Boston Breach in that game 5 where he drops 15. So he's a guy that has to try to shut down the aggressive plays coming in out of Capsule and Vico, because when those guys are on one, they're just going to roam around the map.
Yeah, and we can take a look at the S&D stats between these two versus Optic Texas on day 1 here of Major 5.
La diferencia sí al final sí termina siendo
for Vico. A nice little 2.75. It's not as good as Vico's numbers, but
con Javier Milagro
Vicul. Big cap. What, man, Capsule has been playing just lights out so far throughout this tournament. Doesn't walk away with the dub in game 1, but went on an electric 10 spree, and we will look to see him and his good old SMG compadre, Mr. Javi, try to light things up and get Florida back on the board. But as
aquí está el mercado y vamos a ver cómo se desenvuelven en este nuevo mapa. Monster Energy, la bebida oficial de la Call of Duty League.
You have the response. This has to be the response right after a very, very close map number 1. But into the attack we go for the Rocker.
Aquí es un busca y destruye. Qué sueño. ¿Cómo están ustedes? Yo me estoy muriendo de sueño.
And now Minnesota gets the first blood in the 4v3. You can get this bomb down.
Some nades tossed out. A bit of information looking to be attained. Say player 5 toward the top is Capsule. He's going to try to work on a flank, especially once that bomb goes down. A lot of reliance is going to come onto his shoulders. What can player number 5 come away with? In the meantime, Fellow is setting up with the snipe.
Capsule, he might at least find an opening. He does find a trade onto Cammy. But by the time he gets that kill, it's a 1v3.
Buenas,
Minnesota
buenas.
Rocker get the bomb
buenas
down.
kill por parte de Minnesota.
Set up around green.
Ellos se equivocaron al querer campear. Totalmente se equivocaron al querer campear.
Let's just try to be super aggressive, use our attacks to take control of hedge. They get the first kill, you get the bomb down, you close out the round. Minnesota 1-0.
Yeah, well structured opening round for Rocker. What you expect from this team is the sides will now go ahead and flip.
Algo que me encantaría hacer notar es que la mayoría de nosotros creemos que los pro players juegan todos con teclado y mouse, pero si lo has notado, la mayoría de ellos prefiere usar un mando.
And a lot of times it was the SMGs, more specifically Brack, doing work with the Vazdev. This time it's going to be on to Fellow and Vico inside of bottom Cantinas. Capsule instantly wiped away. It's Brack around the outside who ends up evening things up. Time already ticking away. Information has been found here from the Spaniard. Able to capitalize. Florida with numbers.
So now Florida in the 3v2. Vico with the dive out gets the information on at least one player. And Fellow's not going to slow down. Takes down Attach. Now it's Bance. Left in the 1v3. Does he sneak by Brack? No, he was able to spot him. They're going to stop playing the bomb. They're going to all put their guns up and play for that gunfight as the Florida Mutineers win an attacking round of their own. And now tie the game up at 1.
And Jay, just making an observation. I want to get your thoughts on this. Like, as we said, last series, when Florida was on Mercado, we saw Brack. Not normally going to see him with an SMG in hand in Cantinas. This time, in the first attacking round for Florida, normally we see Fellow with attack, with the sniper. You see him with the Vaz. Are you noticing anything as for why that's the case for Florida?
Nah, they just want to switch it up. Brack's probably feeling like my AR is shooting a lot better so far than my Vaznev today. So, Fellow, you're a guy that can definitely whip it out. Go alongside Vico and Capsule and be the aggressor in towards bottom green, and he's able to pick up 2 on the round. So if it's not broke, don't fix it. But back to the attack we go for Rocker. Gonna put the pressure over towards B. Brack gets the info on the cross towards 10. Now the rotation's about to come in.
Así es, este mapa sí o sí se va a definir de acuerdo con las rotaciones, por las formas.
He does so, and now it's up for Florida on the retake. Instantly found, though, is the objective man. Fame out of the play. Bance, meanwhile, is looking to put away not just one, but also the second. Dodging bullets and closing doors. Wonderful work there for Benjamin to keep this round alive and make Florida continue to have to come to them. But Vico, a few shots in the leg, ends up walking away with that one. He is a magnet when it comes down to slays. Cammy, last one up, 1v2, tosses out a stun, and Florida are able to come
Brack va a poner la bomba.
That's a perfect retake right there out of Florida. It's not really easy to take control of that B site, especially when it gets planted before anyone is in position
bien jugado,
to attack.
Florida, bien jugado.
But the Mutineers
Los mantuvieron encerrados, los acorralaron y vaya que no los dejaron salir para que su compañero pudiera tomar la iniciativa.
Just another impactful round coming in from Vikal. He has been so solid since getting reintroduced to this Florida Mutineers lineup, Jay. So far in Major 5, he ranks as the #2 overall SMG in terms of just straight up KD. Which is wild to think that at one point he was not in the starting lineup for this roster. Role dramatically changed, and ever since he has been infused back into this team, he has been sensational. Into this round we go, and who other than Vikal to start it off. However, Minnesota with the instant reply, Bance jumping over the top. It has been Vikal from start to finish, but it's going to have to be him to close it out. Can he walk away with the ace down to 1 HP, but survives?
He's dancing, and Cammy's going to be
and
Vikal makes him pay. So now that's a 6th streak. Vikal does earn himself that cruise missile, but such a crucial 1v1 versus attach. One of the best S&D minds that we have ever had in Call of Duty. This is a crucial play if he can win this.
Así es.
Plenty of time on the clock, really, for both players to make adjustments. They begin to work on some strategy. As we said, Vikal, this would be for the 1v2, would be for the ace to extend the spree to 7, and he's going to call in the cruise missile.
I love this play. You get the info, you're going to force attach to put himself inside of a building. You also invested that cruise missile, but now you know attach is going to be playing towards middle tunnel. It's not going to be easy to get this bomb down towards A, and it's still only 15 seconds. You have to make the play.
He's decided to go for the rotation. He right now does not have dead silence, right? He's rocking a trophy, so he's going to be loud. Attach.
Oh!
How about that shot? It's time to pay the price as Vikal denied what would have been a sensational clutch and an ace. Welcome back to the league, attach. As that kill means a heck of a lot right now.
And that's such a game-changing round right there. To win the 1v1, you get Vikal to invest that cruise missile so you don't have to worry about it later on in this game. But the 1v1 goes to attach with that tactic.
Sí, era un 1-1. Y aquí vamos, 2-2.
A much-needed round for the Rocker. Now they go back to the attack. What kind of look do they give us this time? It's been one towards B, one towards A. Vikal starts it off with the team nade, and Fame finishes off the rest. It's 4v1, all up the Brack.
Yeah, I think this one might be over pretty quick unless Brack can pull off something unbelievable. We saw Vikal pull off something special last time, but once again denied. Peeks out for, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a second, and right there, Cammy is there to greet him with a bullet. And that is just great execution from Minnesota, and unfortunately for Florida, a mishap to kick off that round, Jay.
Yeah, Vikal, unfortunately, with the team nade.
Tremendo
bypass. The trade battle in favor of Rocker. You allowed Fame, just push right through tunnel, find those 2 kills, and then in a 1v4, Brack stands no chance. Minnesota take the round. That's now 3 different looks on their attacking side. You're going to force Florida Mutineers to change their defensive setup a little bit. Make sure you have someone over towards B. It's Minnesota throwing everything at them.
Yeah, one of the positives about this Minnesota team, as you said, so many looks, just so many great search and destroy minds on this team. Everybody getting vocal in between rounds as the call has been made. Through the middle of the map, Cammy is able to win that fight. Another very tight corridor, but this time he comes out on top. A quick little look toward the back alley, trying to make Florida guess, as right now they are trapped in Cantina.
Yeah, Florida are trapped. And Fame lines it up with the frag to take down Capsule. They definitely did their homework. They know that Florida loves to be aggressive towards Hedge. And they take mid-map control and go for the flank. That's now 3 rounds in a row.
Y otra vez los vuelven a flanquear.
And they are working out to perfection. Florida Mutineers need to bring some new. They can't be this only aggressive push over towards Cantinas.
Vean cómo los flanquean.
Another electric moment starts off that round so well inside of mid-tunnel. We know the talent that he can possess and search destroy at times throughout his career has been one of the best S&D players in the game. And right now,
y Minnesota vuelve a darle la vuelta al marcador. Se nota que es el bracket de ganadores, ¿eh? Un 4-1. No les dieron chance, pero de nada los acabaron al inicio de la partida.
Throwing the frags over the top. Might be getting ready for 4th of July with all the fireworks that they're showing. But look, let's take a replay look at it again. Fame with the frag, attached with the delayed Semtex. Where is the trophy system? There it is, but it doesn't get down.
Y es que el trophy no lo pusieron a tiempo, explotó y pues no los protegió.
Rocker take full advantage of it, and now they're at game point.
That is so frustrating if you're a Florida fan. If you're in that lineup right now, needing a desperate answer as they look to get aggressive inside of Cantina early. Want to get this round done and dusted. We've seen 5-2 comebacks happen before, and why not now? Why not them? A quick answer comes in from Benjamin as we look to see a few of those purple arrows begin to rotate once again, trying to...
Florida just going to put that bomb down, force Rocker to find their way in. Bans with that dead silence, is working his way through back alley, but a couple shots come in from fellow. Vico finish it. Now it's a 2v2.
At the same time, Fame's also earned a cruise missile, so we'll see if that can be emphatic for the end of the game or at some point in the map. Fame trying to stay alive. How in the world is he still up?
Ese fue un tremendo error. El mantener o el tratar de mantenerse disparando mientras se mueve.
First round, and it started with quite a bit of pace, quite a bit of aggression, Jay.
Yeah, Florida get the first blood. Even though the trade comes in, they do not hesitate on putting that bomb down, making the play come to them. As their setup was great. Beautiful crossfire setup between Fellow and Vico. Vico closes out the round with the final 3 kills to keep his team alive a little bit longer. But now you're back on defense. Rocker have shown you so many different looks. What is their play? They're going to decide to go over towards A again, and the trophy system comes back to bite.
Okay, trophies, they're just not working right now for Florida. I think they're busted. Not exactly sure what's going down. And on top of it, Fame, who earned the cruise missile in that last round, is already bringing it out, trying to put the Mutineers to bed. Creates a crater, but that is it. Information gained. In the meantime, Minnesota with that streak, gain map positioning, plant a bomb down, and now force Florida to come to them.
There's a 2-man stack through the back alley. Bance only has 50 HP left. The regen does come in, but Capsule wins the 1-on-1. It's a 3v3, making it 3v2 as Fame finds another one. 25 seconds left, down to a 2v2 now.
Dash and Cammy, Capsule, and Brack! Oh. Big Cap up close and personal, and now it all falls on to Cameron. What can he come away with? Already tagged up, just has to play the time. Knows that one player's on the left, another's on the right. He finds the first, and from there, Brack, there's nothing he can do. I don't think he got the defuse. This one should be over, and Brack knows it.
Tremenda jugada. Tremenda jugada.
And Minnesota go up 2-0.
And if you are Rocker, let's just give a shout out to the trophy system, who is not working for Florida Mutineers, because those frags were felt, those Semtex were felt, and the different looks at the beginning of the game was the deciding factor. Florida Mutineers, they only really showed one look that entire time on their attacking side. Just super aggressive over towards the cantinas. They watched.
Algo que vale aquí la pena ver nuevamente son el montón de kills. La diferencia en kills es abismal. O sea, Fame lleva 10 kills por cada 5 muertes. O sea, cada que se muere van 2. Ninguno se le acerca. Y bueno, vamos a Expo Control y veamos cómo les va ahí. Si no lo gana Florida, queda completamente fuera, queda eliminado y no hay nada que hacer. Así que es un poco complicado, amigos, pero tendremos que esperar, tendremos que ver. Y bueno, seguramente va a haber ahorita un descanso para poder ver qué pasa. Y vamos a ver qué va a pasar. ¿Les parece bien si mientras vamos a ver las recompensas de la transmisión? Así que, bueno, vamos a ver los highlights, los mejores momentos. Híjoles, yo creo que este fue de los mejores momentos donde tronaron antes de... Y bueno, ¿Qué les parece si tomamos estos 4 minutitos para ver rápido las recompensas y ver qué es lo que pasa? Vamos a verlas. Vamos a ver cómo vamos. Aquí, si se fijan, ya puedo reclamar las 2 de 1 hora. Vamos a reclamarlas. También ya puedo reclamar el Onliner CC y el Hit Head Hair. ¿Sale? Ya reclamamos todas las de hoy. Esto es todo lo que hemos reclamado. ¿Sale? Aquí nos faltan 6 minutitos. No, perdón, 8 minutitos. Así que vamos a terminar de ver este. Y yo creo que vamos a suspender un ratito para poder hacer para poder pasar a comer algo. Ustedes también puedan hacerse un pequeño refrigerio. Y no se desconecten. Aquí seguimos en vivo. Así que vayan y cobren sus recompensas. Este es el momento. Disfrútenlas y presúmanlas. Agréguenme, ahorita mismo voy a subir un video más tarde, yo espero como tipo las 6 de la tarde, con mi información de contacto para que puedan agregarme y para que podamos jugar juntos, podamos convivir, podamos ver y les pueda presumir estas recompensas que nos están dando y ustedes también puedan presumirme sus recompensas, ¿sale? Regresamos en 2 minutos. Perdón, ya estamos de regreso. Y para el segundo round. Acuérdense que este es al mejor de 5 mapas. Sale mapas, no partidas. Al mejor de 5 mapas. Si este mapa lo gana Minnesota, nos despedimos. Nos despedimos de Florida.
The series, but Jay, it feels like there's a theme to this matchup. When we talk about offense versus defense, what are we looking at?
Yeah, we have the second best attacking team in the game in Minnesota. Rocker going up against the second best defending team on the side of Florida Mutineers. So if you are Florida, you got to stay strong in your defensive setup, but figure out a way to walk away with at least a couple segments over towards towards A, because we know in that round number 5, if you get defense, you set yourself up for your W.
That's exactly right. Into Expo we fly. So good old Himmelmat off the rip. So far it has been pretty easy for the Florida Mutineers. Already one capture, now make it 2 segments. Minnesota finally going to be able to show a bit of face as they've joined us for the press conference that Florida have currently held. Problem being is that really, well, that was pretty much it. Find a few kills, 3 as a matter of fact. That zone gets captured and instantly another minute gets added onto the clock.
Error, no se debió haber asomado de nuevo. Debió haber rotado.
You do have attaching and positioning, just blocking these spawns, making sure they spawn all the way over towards the globe side. The fellow, he's going to wrap back. Does he get the timing onto the kill? No, Attach is able to spot him, back him down for now. And as long as you hold down that power position that Attach is currently in, so crucial.
Otra vez, mismo error, no rotó. Es verdad que los puedes cazar así, pero debió haber rotado. Si ellos rotan, te ganan posición y ventaja.
Yeah, Florida, they get on the point, but there's still a couple players from Rocker behind enemy lines. Payne sitting towards top restaurant, he's trying to find the timing, and he does. He takes down a fellow while Vico is still trying to locate where he is. Can he win this next gunfight? He does as well. Benjamin Bance with another play.
My goodness, up close and personal. Take that, Vico. Excellent job there. Coming in from the vet. He eventually dies by the nade. So if you're Florida, you at least have a little bit of a laugh, but nonetheless, the push has been felt. Brack putting in some work. That's now 3 in a row for him. As we said, trying to keep this push up. Any segment is a good one right now if you're the Mutineers, and they are building toward 1. Vico back-to-back headshots as they've got 1 segment in. Here comes the rest of the squad now.
Yeah, this might be the opportunity right here for Florida. They're fully set up, watching the cross over towards Sana side. Capsule at least takes down 1. The rest of Rocker, they're able to fly in and contest before that second segment is complete. Now it's only Brack on this side of the map. He does get stunned. Position known. All of Rocker trying to locate where he is. Bance is able to take him down. So at least if you are the Rocker, you do allow 1 segment to go the opposite way, but you take back control. Now you're in full control of the Sauna side to continue to hold strong.
It's so funny, like what that 1 segment does, like the way that you feel, the way that you evaluate an attacking round. Like if Florida's able to instantly grab that, we're like, wow, that was a very successful round. They don't, we're like, okay, pretty standard, right, to walk away with 4. Great up-close fight again. Coming in from the Rocker, Florida have dealt their best hand, but Minnesota not having any of it. Currently 9v8 in terms of lives, so if you're Rocker, you still have to be careful and prepare for the final push as Florida are able to put away. That's going to be 3 in a row, make it all 4 down. That might be it. Cammy, the only player in distance, is getting stunned up and tagged up. Mutineers find their window of opportunity and they seize it. And that was the last chance that they had.
That was the last chance that Florida had. But once they find out, and this is 2 fights, fellow puts down a bunch of shots over towards Sauna side. Gets a couple players. One shot on the side of Rocker. And you already have 2 players on the point. You take down those 2 last guys over towards Sauna side. The stack is going to come in, and Florida were able to walk away with the attacking round. A crucial one at that. They are 9th in the league. When they find success on that attacking side, they turn the story around there, and now they're up 1-0, back on the defense, where they are one of the best teams.
Yeah, as we said, this is really where the matchup comes into play that we were talking about. Minnesota's offense versus Florida's defense. That now becomes the theme in round 2. But getting back to that opener, man, I mean, that's exactly what you want conference-wise if you're a Florida team who, as we said, you know, you just won those last 2 maps versus Optic. You shocked the world. You come through, and now you lose the first 2 versus Minnesota. As little as it may seem, it's just a 1 on the scorecard, but it means that much more to the boys. As into round 2 we go. We flip sides, as we said, and Rocker having a pretty easy time so far at B. This one looks to be done pretty quick. May see one last effort, and well, Attach takes matters into his own hands. That's another minute added on.
Yeah, you could just tell Florida decided to chalk that one up. Fellow was the player working that deep flank, but a couple of his teammates do drop, so he decides to hold his positioning and allow Rocker to close out this B point and extend that time. Now, what else can they do? Because how fast can they try to change it? They're going to send 2 players to the back end. Beagle is able to drop down from the elevator, and he finds 3. Already shuts down the first push from Rocker.
Javi putting the beat down here on Minnesota. Capsule as well, having some
Capsule
fun.
está jugando increíblemente bien,
After what was
pero increíblemente
a very
bien.
one-sided affair over at that B objective. Now we focus on A. Minute 45 on the clock, and now it is Rocker waiting for their window of opportunity, waiting for their chance to strike, and right now they have 1 player on that objective. Meanwhile, it is a few trying to make their way around the flank. They end up falling, but at the very least, if you're Cammy, you're finding some kills in base. So
Cammy va
you lose a bit of map positioning
brutal,
and you get it right back.
Yeah, but that's 3 making
No, sí se sacó clip.
on the fellow. All of Florida coming off spawn. They're able to stop the clock, hop on the point, and unfortunately, Vance cannot win that gunfight.
Excelente triple kill.
Now Florida can apply that pressure up through Sana's side, but it's still Attach watching that cross. They only have 1 person on it, but the second is potentially about to come in.
This is very healthy right now. This is very healthy. If you're Minnesota, Fame up close and personal. Is this about to be
otra vez triple kill de Fame.
Another gunfight, another trade going the way of Rocker as they inch ever closer to that third and
Minnesota está jugando increíble, pero increíble.
An instant answer, a quick reply.
Bien, bien,
and that's not
bien,
easy
Minnesota,
to do.
bien.
We saw Fame, he was the sole man on that A point by himself. He was able to get at least 1 segment and a half done. And then the rest of it was on Attach. He finds 3 kills, just the same way that Fame did to secure the other 1.5 to close out the attacking round. That's usually not how you see it on Expo.
Me parece que el capitán empieza a darles
3 to 4 dead, so the stack is there.
sus indicaciones.
But when you have all the crosses locked down, you can leave that 1 player on the point as long as you're winning those gunfights, and that's exactly what Rocker do.
Y aquí vamos.
Tied up at 1.
You and I were chatting. We were like, when's the last time we've seen, like, you and I, right? Like, when's the last time we've seen, like, at least 1, if not more than 1, attacking win here on Expo? And, well, we've got our wish already, walking away with 2. We talked about how so far here at Expo throughout the year, it's really been more
Salió sin cobertura,
right now, Minnesota trying to put that on display. Is Florida going with the more high risk versus high reward type of situation, trying to get A done and dusted, and right now they're feeling the pain of it. They got to be careful. They drop here. This could be a spawn trap set up from Rocker. Great trigger discipline coming in from the Cam man.
Yeah, where's the communication though? Cammy did put down a couple shots. I thought Fellow was going to fly around that corner and play for that kill. But now there's only 45 seconds left on the clock.
Bien,
Florida Mutineers, they have put so much pressure over towards
Dando
this 8 point.
de Brack.
The clock is starting to wind down. And Minnesota, they're just playing perfectly, trading efficiently. Every time someone hops a point, there's always someone to take them down, and that clock keeps going. There's only 35 seconds.
Y vuelve a rotar, checan.
Yeah, I think what we're saying, Jay,
Vuelve a
Florida,
rotar.
how about we just go for B? Yeah, I think, you know, it hasn't worked. We've tried, like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 times. Maybe going over to B is the best opportunity for us, and it looks like they will start to take that advice. Problem, as we said, though, is that 33 seconds on the clock. They fall at this point. That could spell disaster. Positive for them is that they are winning those fights as they get into the stage. 2 players going to lock down this objective, and it looks like Rocker are going to allow for them to take it. So 33 seconds now becomes 1 minute and 30. Florida able to grab that objective, and now we'll see what they can do. Can we make it 3 straight attacking rounds?
Yeah, I think if you are Minnesota, though, you're just playing for the exit kills. You know exactly where they're going to apply the pressure from. You just got to play for them to come on out and put them in a nice little spawn trap. You do have 1 player in Brack who slips right on by. He's going to be the guy that could potentially make the play happen for Florida Mutineers. He's just waiting for his teammates to get out of the base. They cannot get past these players from Rocker who are pushed out towards Globe. Finally, Capsule takes down Cammy, and now they have an opportunity to make something happen. There's still Minnesota in full map control, and they continue to trade.
Yeah, the positive, right, for Minnesota is that you have the luxury, right, of being on the defensive side.
Minnesota tiene mucha presión para tratar de ganar ahorita. Si mantienen la calma y se controlan y mantienen los puntos bajo control, basándose más que nada en kills,
what we've seen in the prior 2 rounds, will we see it again? Capsule looking to do that. Vico from the front. He ends up getting traded out. That puts the pressure on the Cap. He jumps
cayó
off
muy
the top.
mal,
He will fire three, quickly hit the deck, and it's Minnesota looking great as ever.
Now it's only 30 seconds left. They find the final player in Fellow, and now everyone's going to be the aggressor. They know they're coming off spawn towards Globe. We have street side blocked. This is the final push coming in from the Mutineers. It's looking like they're going to try to do it through the overextension, but with over 15 seconds left, they might not have an opportunity.
Live's not looking great as Cam up close and personal, putting him down left and right. Maybe one dolphin dive is all we're about to see, but it's consolation kills at best. Florida going for a dive, going for a swim, but having to watch their opposition succeed in the process as Minnesota go up 2-1 and finally claim our first defense here on Expo.
And now you set yourself up to win this match. We're talking about the second best attacking team going in an attacking round to potentially close out the series 3-0. We saw how easy it was for them on their first go around, just leaving one player over towards this 8-point. But if you really want to make this last round a statement, you go over towards A and capture that one first, because we all know how easy B is to get done. One set of kills is all you need. So if you can work up some segments over towards that 8-point, Minnesota are going to guarantee themselves at least that defense in round 5.
Set yourself in a great position. As you said, buddy, if you're Minnesota, now can they just close it out? Can they capitalize? Can they dot the I's, cross the T's, and lock things up in a 3-0 and a 3-1 in the control? Or can this be the moment where Florida starts to wake up? Can it be a spawn trap? Can it be a few streaks? Maybe even a cruise missile that you can earn? As we said, they're going to need that if they want to try to extend this even to that round 5. But into this round we go. First segment officially in over at B, and Attach is the man to do it.
Yeah, Attach is just playing his life here. Florida not going to send a lot of bodies to this side of the map. So you don't want to lose these gunfights and allow Mutineers to get a free rotation over towards A. The contest is going to be here from Vico. He's trying to dance around the point, but he eventually does get traded. And Brack takes out Attach, so B is not done and dusted yet. Vance, you have to try to fill that gap, and with him laying prone, he should be able to extend that time.
Yep, dodges the nade, a sliver of HP, but still gets the objective done. Great work coming in from Rocker all the way around as they begin to pivot, begin to pirouette right into that.
Y vuelve Minnesota a imponer condiciones,
I've got to be careful with a few of these kills. As we said, a few more in stride. This series could be done. Have to have a little bit of urgency if you're the Mutineers as they come away with 3 perfectly timed kills at that. And we'll see if they can build upon it, start a bit of a spawn trap, maybe get a few streaks going.
Yeah, and if you're Minnesota Rocker, already job done. You secure that 4th segment, so now you're in the lead. When you go to that round number 5, even if you lose this attacking round, you got defense. You can still put it together here. You do have one player in Brack all the way pushed out towards back bus, and every other player from Minnesota, they're just going to put pressure on through the middle. There's still only one player on the point, which is going to be Fame. Multiple players from Florida here to try to take him down, and he might have just won his team the game with that positioning in 2-piece.
Oh, how about
Qué
Fame?
buena.
Minnesota, they're stacking the point, they're running it up, and there it is.
Y adiós. Adiós, 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 adiós. Minnesota acaba de eliminar a Florida.
To close us out here on Expo. Top 3 guaranteed for Rocker. And now Florida will head down to the elimination bracket. And as we said, Jay, on
Y pues bueno, por el día de hoy vamos a descansar un momento para poder seguir con las actividades del día. Vamos a comer, vamos a hacer unas cositas y ahorita regresamos, ¿sale? No se vayan, no olviden seguirme en TikTok, no olviden seguirme en Twitch, no olviden seguirme en Kick, no olviden seguirme en todas las redes sociales. El link está en mi perfil. Y pues bueno, hasta aquí vamos llegando con la transmisión. No, otra vez. Y bueno, pues hasta aquí llegamos con la transmisión del día de hoy. La verdad estuvo muy buena las partidas. Vimos cómo Las Vegas fue desterrado, cómo todo lo que fue Minnesota, cómo arrasó con Florida. Y les recuerdo que si les gusta Call of Duty, les gusta WarZone, les encantan los deportes electrónicos o los eSports, no olviden seguirme en todas mis redes sociales. El link está en la descripción. Muchas gracias a todos por pasarse por el stream. Muchas gracias a todos por pasarse por mi TikTok. Muchas gracias a todos por su increíble apoyo. Y recuerden que estamos tratando de llegar al primer K en TikTok, así que no olviden apoyarnos dejándonos su like. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos mañana. Mañana igual, 11:30 de la mañana, sale para la gran final. No olviden cobrar sus recompensas en Twitch o en Facebook, donde sea que lo estén viendo. Muchas gracias y hasta mañana.